Hello everyone, this is On The Clock coming back at you for another Sunday rundown. First game of today, Jaguars versus the Panthers. Gardner Minshew currently at a 69.420% completion rating, which I think is the perfect completion rating for that guy. What are you expecting out of Minshew? What are you expecting out of the Panthers?
Let me let you take this first because Minshew is your guy, so I'm going to continue to let you take him first.
Look, Minshew's he's an incredible human being, okay? If you took all the articles of the Florida man and put them into one guy and moved him to Alabama, you would have Gardner Minshew. And this guy is just crazy. And you got to remember, Jacksonville is in Florida, so he fits the culture.
Right.
But I definitely think that Jaguars are going to have a good time today. They're going to be a little bit hurt. Jalen Ramsey is injured.
I have a question about that.
No.
Okay. Because, these things always seem to happen conveniently after a player requests a trade.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's really hurt or if they're just looking at this point to find a trade suitor to get him out of there.
Well, the Jaguars said that they're not going to trade him. And I think this is Jalen Ramsey's way of being like, then I'm not playing.
Right, exactly.
Kind of like the Le'Veon Bell of last year, except still practicing.
Right, yeah.
So I definitely see Jalen Ramsey trying to get out of Jacksonville. But I don't think with the Panthers that's going to be, too much of a hindrance for Jacksonville. You got two backup quarterbacks going at it. So I definitely think the Jaguars have the upper edge here.
Yeah, I think overall you take the quarterbacks out of it. I think they have a better team, so I'll go Jaguars as well with this one.
Yep.
Panthers just not too ready to win a game. But then our next game is the Patriots versus Redskins.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Any conspiracy theories against the Patriots with this week? Or
Look, when the moon is shining at a 12-degree angle... No. But, I mean, the Patriots could have Tom Brady, Josh Gordon, both the McCourtys, Jamie Collins, and about half the rest of the team injured and still win today. Yeah. So, I mean, it's... my money's on the Patriots.
Yeah, I think you'd be losing money if you didn't bet on the Patriots with this one. It's just the Patriots, Bill Belichick versus the Redskins, who don't even know who their quarterback is at this point.
Yeah.
And I'll be surprised probably if they retain their coach much further throughout this season.
Here's the thing. I understand you don't want to throw in a rookie quarterback against currently the number one defensive team.
Right.
But you have a rookie quarterback.
Especially after you threw him in the fire last week.
Well, also, you took Kirk Cousins out. So your starting quarterback is not in.
Right.
So logically, your backup quarterback is the next one up. They just skipped him and went to Colt McCoy. Now, with that being said, I will say, the last time Colt McCoy played the Patriots... he was on the Browns and led the Browns to a win.
Right.
But that's not happening today. There's a very distinguishable difference.
Big difference.
Yes.
So, yeah, Patriots taking that one, they're going to win. Now we got Bills versus Titans.
I think that one's going to be close.
Yeah,
see that. Titans on the Titans of the past. They look like a solid team, and Bills right there with them. Go 3-4 years back, this is a game you're looking at to be low scoring, not a real impactful game. This actually has meaning to it now. And I definitely think that that's something that both teams are going to be fighting for. And I definitely see, where the Bills have the upper hand, where the Titans have the upper hand. Right. Titans obviously a really good offense of, wide out scheme. Bills kind of good coverage there.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game.
I think I'll take the Bills in this one. Close, maybe field goal, maybe one touchdown. I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, and I definitely think if Devin Singletary's in, I take the Bills as well. But with him being out, I'm kind of leaning more towards the Titans. Yeah.
That's a close one, though.
Absolutely.
And then we got Ravens-Steelers, divisional game.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
Yeah, so the Steelers obviously went against the Bengals, so you can't say too much on it. Mm-hmm. But had a really good game. Mason Rudolph came in, finally looked like the guy he was out of college.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson coming from playing the Browns didn't really look too high. He got pressured.
Right.
But can the Steelers D-line put on Lamar Jackson the same pressure that the Browns D-line did?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I think this is a game where maybe Lamar Jackson looks like the Lamar Jackson from the first few weeks, where maybe not MVP candidate kind of guy, but maybe he gets back into his groove, finding the offense again, finding his rhythm, whether it's Mark Andrews, Mark Ingram, Marquise Brown. He has a lot of weapons there, so I think he finds a way to get all of them involved here with this game against the Steelers.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think the Ravens are going to come out on top on this one.
Yeah.
Now, next one, Cardinals, Bengals.
I'm going to go with Kyler Murray on this one because the Bengals haven't shown me a lot this season at all, really. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say Kyler Murray is able to pull this one out with Larry Fitzgerald out there because it seems to be one of his favorite targets, which it should be as a rookie. Throw it to the guy who's the veteran out there. So I think Kyler Murray is going to find a way to win this game against the Bengals.
Yeah, and you got to realize, just look at, with a lot of these teams, look at injuries. Mm-hmm. Bengals, A.J. Green was supposed to have a 2 to 3 week injury. Mm-hmm. Got changed to 3 to 4 weeks. Yep. Now with 4 weeks in, he says, it's going to be 2 or 3 more weeks. Mm-hmm. At this point, I just think he doesn't want to play with
because we saw
the team.
It was a video last week of him on the sideline watching the team where he looked pissed. Watching them play. He looked really annoyed at what they were doing out there. So I don't think he really wants to come back with this team at the moment.
Yeah, but on the other side, you have the Cardinals, and you have Larry Fisher, someone who was drafted by them, who's stuck with them, and who, besides Jerry Rice, he's the second best to ever play that position, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He knows how to play the game. And Kyler Murray, what a lot of Cardinals quarterbacks have not done in the past is they haven't given the ball to Larry.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray says, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to give it to my playmaker.
Exactly.
And because of that, the Cardinals are looking good finally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think this is going to be more of a bye week for them.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we move on to our next game. We got the Falcons versus the Texans. We got 2 great receivers on the sides. We got 2 very solid quarterbacks. I don't know how many people might view Matt Ryan at this point, but Matt Ryan's still very solid. You got Julio, DeAndre Hopkins. What you looking at with this game?
Well, we're talking about offense, and I definitely agree. I think both teams have a solid offense.
Right.
So we need to switch it to the other side of the ball.
Yep, it's going to come down to that.
You got J.J. Watt, who, he's been plagued with injuries, but when he is on the field, he's is on the field. And you expect that, after so many injuries to go down. It just doesn't with him.
Yeah.
He's a monster, and he will get into that backfield.
Yeah.
Other side of the Falcons have a great linebacking core. Mm-hmm. They have some safety help, but they're injured a little bit. They're a little bit banged up. Texans, not so much. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that it's going to come down to the defense. I think with J.J. Watt coming in, Matt Ryan's going to need to get the ball out fast. Mm-hmm. And, Julio Jones is more of that deep route guy, not more of that slant guy. Yep. So I think for the Falcons to win this one, someone else is going to have to step up.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I'm going to go Texans to win this game. I think DeAndre Hopkins finds his rhythm again with a good game because he's been kind of here and there past few weeks, but I think he put a stamp on this game. I'd say. And then you'll notice his difference out there. Then our next game, Saints-Buccaneers. Jameis Winston been kind of stepping it up lately.
Dude, he's been looking good.
Yeah, especially last week against the Rams. Great. That was amazing. To put up 50 points against the Rams is not done often, especially by a team of the Buccaneers caliber. So I think that's going to be something to watch against the Saints this week. And then you got Teddy Bridgewater. Maybe he finds a way to actually get the ball moving even more and not have to rely on Alvin Kamara as much. But that's going to be something we see as well. I'm going to go Saints with this game. I think the Saints offense the prowess of Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, they find a way.
Well, I think you're forgetting one big component here. Shaquille Barnett.
Yes.
Defense. 9 sacks in 4 games.
Yeah.
And I don't think
ridiculous.
he stops here.
No.
I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have himself a game. Now, Teddy Bridgewater more of a mobile quarterback, can get around the pocket. So
Which will have to be.
Oh, yeah.
For this.
So I definitely think that can lead to some stuff. But the Buccaneers doing great offensively. Defensively, they've been struggling. So outside of Barnett. So I'm curious to see if they can, pick up the defense against a team that is struggling at the quarterback position.
Yeah. And then we got Vikings versus the Giants. What you looking for? Anything with the Vikings or Giants?
Well, obviously, as I have this entire season, I'm looking for Kirk Cousins to realize that throwing the ball is allowed in this league.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you can pass it as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I still don't think he realizes that.
I think he's getting the hint slowly. As his receivers are coming to him kind of irritated about their touches, I think he's starting to get it.
Well, through 4 weeks, there's only 2 people that are down over 20 touches from last season. That is Thielen with, I think, 32 and Diggs with 24. And they're both on the same team.
Yeah.
And they both are not impacting the Vikings offense because Kirk Cousins isn't allowing them to.
Exactly.
And these are 2 guys that, beginning of the season, when you're looking at, OBJ with Jarvis now in the Browns, you're looking at them, you're looking at all these other teams getting these powerhouses and these dynamic duos at receivers, they were still up there at the top receiving duo in the league. And now they're not even in the conversation because the quarterback's not using them. If they use them, they win. If they don't use them, they lose.
Exactly.
It's that simple of a structure.
Yeah.
So I think, the Vikings just need to
use them.
use them and or get a new quarterback.
Yeah. Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm going to say he probably comes out. He makes an effort to religiously get them the ball this week.
He needs to.
Because I think that would be the deciding factor in this game against the Giants. Because even the Giants, they're getting weapons back this week.
Golden Tate.
Yeah. Outside of Saquon Barkley, who's still not back, maybe back next week. But Golden Tate's going to be there. So Daniel Jones is just continually to develop, and he's getting weapons back. So I think they're going to need to throw the ball this week to even have a chance to win this game. So I think the Vikings do something we haven't seen, and they throw the ball to their top 2 receivers.
If they do, I will be happy.
Yeah. And then we got the Bears versus the Raiders, which is going to be great to watch on the end of the Bears defense because you got Khalil Mack going against the Raiders. And we're going to see, because guys always tend to have something to prove against their former teams.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be something to watch for because he already dominates on defense. Going against his old team, it's going to be something different, I think. So I think that's going to be a great thing to watch. And I'm going to go away by saying the Bears win this game because the Raiders are missing Tyrell Williams this week, I believe. And it's just going to be too much to overcome with the Bears defense. And this is going to be a situation where the Bears only have to score about 14 to 21 points again to win this game.
And, in a league where the offense is dominant, I mean, you look at the Rams, you look at the Chiefs, you look at the Browns, you look at a bunch of these teams, the offense is what leads them.
Yeah.
Defense is what wins championships. Patriots, defense. Bears, defense. Those 2 teams have a real strong candidate of going to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to, once again, agree with you here. Take the Bears because their defense is just that. If Mitch Trubisky scores 2 touchdowns, you win.
You win, yeah. Because the Bears defense could honestly get you a touchdown easily.
Yeah.
And then they're going against the Raiders, who probably won't produce many touchdowns themselves. So that's going to be a pretty solid game for the Bears all around. And then we got Jets versus the Eagles.
Yeah, so obviously spleen is something you don't want to mess up. So Sam Darnold once again will not be playing at quarterback, which a lot of people were hoping that he'd be back at this game. Backup quarterback not in, down to the 3rd stringer.
Right.
Eagles coming out here, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, if he can figure out how to catch a football again. He was a good receiver. If he can catch it, he'll be dominant. They have a good rush. Same with the Jets with Le'Veon Bell. I think, Jets game, definitely going to have to be on the ground. Eagles going to have to be in the air.
Yep.
So I think if the Eagles push out to an early lead, force the Jets to throw the ball, I think the Eagles have a high chance of running away with this one.
For sure. I'm going to go Eagles as well. I think Carson Wentz. Maybe Nelson Aguilar finds a way to catch the ball, which I don't really know. But just getting his weapons involved, I think Carson Wentz will be able to help the Eagles win this game.
Yeah. Now, those were all 1 o'clock games. Like, what? So there's only 2 4 o'clock games this week. Because you got to remember, no one has a bye week besides the Dolphins. Because, if you play the Dolphins, it's a bye week. Yeah. So they're playing themselves. So there's only 2 4 o'clock games.
Right.
So the first one, Broncos-Chargers.
I'm going to go Chargers with this game. I think offensively they're just better than what the Broncos can produce. Now maybe Emmanuel Sanders can make something happen for their offense, who they tend to rely on a lot. Maybe Phillip Lindsay, also another guy who they kind of run through a lot with their offense. So they definitely have a chance, but the Chargers may probably prove to be a little too much to handle. At a certain point, maybe they win by a touchdown or two, where it maybe seemed like the game is worse than it actually was after you look at it. But I think the Chargers come out with this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think the Chargers are going to have a good game. You have Austin Eckler, who's laying up the league. You have Melvin Gordon, who's a solid back as well. You now get to do like a dynamic duo between the two.
Right.
I definitely see the Chargers taking this one.
Yeah. And then we got the Cowboys versus the Packers in our 425 game.
That should be a good one. That should be a great one. If Aaron Rodgers shows up and Dak Prescott shows up. But if they both show up, that should be a really good game.
Yeah.
Cowboys, they're getting back Gallup today.
Yeah.
Well, he's a game-time decision, but there's a chance they get back Gallup. And that's going to be a huge part of the team. You talked earlier about, playing teams that you used to be on, Cobb going against the Packers. So, something to prove there. But I definitely see this as a game where both the Packers and Cowboys lead offensively. So I'm going to take the offenses out, and I'm going to say the Cowboys' defense far outweighs the Packers' defense. Therefore, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Yep. I'm also on that same structure. Cowboys' defense. So many great names over there. Linebackers are great. Line is great. So I think the Cowboys just inch it out with this game, and they prevail over the Packers.
Yeah, definitely. So now your Sunday night game over on NBC, Colts versus Chiefs.
I think a lot of people will write the Colts off pretty early and badly with this one. I think it remains closer than a lot of people think. But at the end of the day, they have Pat Mahomes on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So they're still going to win the game. It's just a matter of how much he actually does. Because obviously you always get those games where Pat Mahomes just looks unworldly. So you never know when it's going to be. So maybe this is a week like that. But I think he's going to have one of those very solid games, and he just throws maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns, gets a lot of guys involved, which he always seems to do, but remains with one of his solid targets at Travis Kelce. And maybe even getting Tyreek Hill back next week will also be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs going to win this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the Chiefs are going to win. I think how close the game is determines on T.Y. Hilton. He's a game-time decision. If he doesn't play, I think the Chiefs run away with it. If he does play, I think it's going to be, like you said, a lot closer than people believe. And then Monday night, what we're looking forward to, Browns, 49ers. 49ers undefeated. Kind of, you got the Chiefs undefeated, you got the Patriots undefeated, and the 49ers kind of seem like an outlier on the undefeated scale.
It's just, you look at the teams they've played, it doesn't seem like too far-fetched of an idea that the Browns go in there and take this game. Especially with their receivers coming back, 2 of Baker Mayfield's favorite receivers, probably very likely coming back, with Callaway being back and Higgins probably being back. And then still trying to figure out about the cornerback situation in Cleveland with Denzel and Greedy. But even outside of that, I think the guys that they have behind them have proven to play
very well.
Yeah. So I think I think the Browns win this game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be another 40-point outburst, but I think this one is going to be a game closer to what we saw with the Rams. Maybe it's very close, and instead of choking away at the end, the Browns actually win this game at the end.
Yeah, and I definitely think that this is a game, you could take away all offense. You can take away the cornerbacks.
Yeah.
You can take away the linebackers. This game is going to be won and lost
In the trenches.
by the defensive lines. Because Garoppolo is not a quarterback that likes to go outside the pocket.
Right.
So you got Garrett, you got Vernon, you got Richardson, you got Ogunjobi, all running in to sack you. You're going to need to... just reported yesterday, Joe Staley, the star tackle for the 49ers, is not playing.
Really?
So you got Garrett going against a guy that isn't typically in there.
Right.
It's going to create pressure on the quarterback. You're gonna have to see Garoppolo get that ball out faster than what he likes to do. On the other side of the ball, you have an amazing defensive line and edge rushers off the linebacking core for the 49ers.
Right.
So you're gonna have to see the Browns not take as long in the pocket, which Baker kind of showed that he doesn't need that long in the pocket last week, but he's going to need, even quicken it up even a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's going to be one in the trenches. With Joe Staley out, I think the Browns win the trench war.
Yeah, for sure. Myles Garrett getting back in touch with his pass rushing. He's going to get back to getting back to the quarterback like he did against the Jets that week where he injured their backup. But
yeah.
So I think Myles Garrett proves to be too much. Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, and Ogunjobi, I think it's just going to be too much on the defensive line. We're going to come out with this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the Sunday rundown. Hope you guys have a good one. See you next time.